We'll just talk about this year in general.
Okay.
I think this is episode 23. Trying to think of a word. Like just this year and everything we've accomplished.
Our report card for the year.
About our report card.
Accomplishments for the year.
Create live stream. Hi, we're gonna do a podcast here in a second. Settings. Let's get my camera to work. Oh, I'm an idiot.
What?
There's this thing on this camera that you can like hide yourself.
How hide me?
No, it's where you like turn it and it puts something in front of it and you can't see anything.
Oh. I sent the boys a text message saying good news. Your dad can now send emails from his phone. He brought his computer to my office and it works now with a picture of me, him, Shelby, and Jerome. And he's like, great work.
Thank you, Johnny.
And Ben's like, oh no, don't make him too powerful. He will start sending spam. I can suggest that they block him.
I wouldn't.
Really? Because they're not.
I wouldn't. Let's see. All right. I tweeted it. Let's go live. Go live.
Okay. And my phone is off.
Is my phone
Name
off?
tag on. My ringer's off. Can you see this thing
Mine's
right
off.
here, or should I just move in closer to you?
Don't Back Down is live on YouTube. Nice. All right. Let's see. Oops. Claudia takes the stand for once.
Can I make an adjustment like this?
Yeah.
So it's not quite so heavy on the ceiling?
I love the ceiling. I
Why?
just didn't know if we wanted to get the whole the computer in there too. Okay.
What do you mean the whole computer?
Close. And then make this a little bit bigger to make us look better.
Donna, I would like to do a dance to that.
I feel like
I would like to do a dance to that guy's song.
I'll
Do you
make
think
one.
You can you? And you can teach it to the whole staff and we'll do it? For real, I'm very serious.
Yeah, we'll have to get him to release his. Ooh, let's get this out of my face. Okay.
And that's turned cattywampus.
Well, you're the one that turned it.
No, I'm perfect.
And knock her out. See, now that looks kind of weird.
There we go. That's better.
Here it
That's
is.
better.
Here
That's
it is.
better. Do we start over?
No, we're live. We can
Oh.
always edit it. Get your coffee ready. Call the spouse. We're about
Call
to
your
get
spouse,
ready.
make some coffee. Gonna be here all night.
This is not sponsored by Starbucks, but we love them.
No. I actually already powered down coffee and 2 sodas. So
What
is it
a
not
huge
right?
year we've had.
This is the year in review. The State of the Union of the Arthritis Center.
My chair's a little.
You're the
It
one
makes
who
me
wanted that
bug.
chair.
Is there? Okay, don't worry. We're gonna restart it again.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
So here we are. Probably it'll be posted tomorrow. So halfway through December.
Okay.
How much have we done in 1 year?
So this year of 2024 has been amazing and
Heartbreaking.
heartbreaking. I have a broken heart, a full heart, and a business high. Right?
Yeah, you just had the highlight of your career. That was with Dr. Glockenflecken.
Being interviewed by Dr. Glockenflecken is my personal business high, and
Yep.
it was only made possible because of the social media
But-
that she's done.
I think everyone's almost Dr. Lock and Plugins known by everyone.
He
You know,
is,
he's a
in
comedian.
healthcare,
No,
right.
even not in healthcare. I think he comes up on a lot of people's feed. Like he's a very well known person. So that is,
Right.
and I think if we would have talked to ourselves a year ago when Wendell responded to your email, and we would have never believed we're here.
No. I couldn't believe that Wendell Potter was in my office. I remember thinking, this is never going to happen. I intellectually hear the words that Wendell's coming, but I didn't believe
Until
it.
the very last day.
Until
She's
I
like,
picked him up from the airport.
no, literally, she was like, yeah, they can't give me his flight schedule, so I'll believe it when I see it.
Uh-huh.
And the next thing we know, she's like sending me a selfie with her and him in the car. Usually,
And I don't do airport
I'm
pickups.
usually airport pickup, but this time this old girl got out there and
Yes,
picked
I
him
did.
up.
Yes, I did. I did. I did an airport pickup.
Well, and it's so funny because you can tell how excited we are. He's in the office because, like, on our TikTok, we're not even letting him speak. We're just like, it's Wendell!
I know. It's like,
And now he's becoming like a household name. He's on CNN. He's on
he's
Time.
got so much media going on because of United Health Cartel and Aetna and Cigna and Anthem and all the denial teams. And it is so amazing to me that because of Team Luigi, that now the United States of America can have a conversation about how we're all being screwed by our insurance companies and the pharmacy benefit managers.
Let's talk about Luigi. I personally think he's a modern day Robin Hood.
Of course he's a modern day Robin Hood.
And a very intelligent one, too. Did you read his papers?
Oh yeah, I mean he's, you know, he was at Stanford for God's sake.
Valedictorian.
But here's the thing, Luigi probably had
His mom.
Well, he did have a rheumatology condition, which is what we do, rheumatology here. So he probably could have been helped by infusions
Well,
or
and when he was
biologic.
talking about his mom, like, screaming in pain, all I could think about is you whenever your back hurt. And, like, whenever you would go down in pain, I would just, like, you don't know what to do because you literally fell to your knees in tears and pain. So I imagine him seeing his mom like that and it progressively getting worse, and your parent, there's nothing you can do. You're paying insurance. You see your parents are paying insurance, and she's still in agonizing pain. And you had to pay your deductible, or not even your deductible. You had to pay out of pocket.
Out of pocket for all of my MRIs, because I actually started this year with back surgery on February 26th, because I hurt myself on the tennis court. So I ended up with an L5-S1 microdissection, second time within 3 years on the same disc space.
What month was that?
That happened January 19th is when I fell.
So January 19th, we
2024.
started with a back surgery. That's the start of our year so far.
Yeah. And my back surgery was February 26th, 2024, and we were the last surgery at Christian Hospital that Dr. Levy could perform.
I had to send cakes.
Yep.
I called them constantly. Dr. Levy was like, your staff is very, very persistent. And I was like, it was me off of every single person's phone.
It was.
But thank God we got that.
Right?
And I was just sitting in the waiting room like, do. And Dr. Bach was very protective over you. So I'm like, Dr. Levy, I'd appreciate if you would just call that man, because if I say one word wrong, it's off with the head. He already thinks I'm a nimwit, kinda.
It worked out. But from that, we got some really good traction in spending some significant time together when you were convalescing me.
Well, that's whenever people learned about peer-to-peers.
Oh, that's right, because Dr. Bach had to do a peer-to-peer for my stupid
And
MRI
they wanted
that I
to give
had
you
to
a
cash
knee.
pay.
They wanted to give you a knee
MRI
MRI.
and not
A hip-
a lower back and hip. Right.
And so he's on there and he's like, well, that just logically makes absolutely no sense. Our morals are not vertically aligned.
Yeah. So we started off the year with me having a back injury, and I
think maybe that anger's kind of stayed with us though. Like, you were in so much pain and we were being feisty, and I think we were like, all right, we're just going to be feisty all the time because nobody talks to insurance the way we do.
Well, I mean, I had the ability to pull together money for an MRI and cash pay an MRI, and I had to pay even my insurance. Actually, once we got it prior authorized and did the peer-to-peer, it was more expensive for me to use my insurance for an MRI with what my portion was than if I would have cash paid it. And all of the bullshit delays and all of the nonsense for what? I am the employer. I pay 50% of everyone's premiums in this office, and I also pay 50% of my own, and I couldn't get access to health care. What? That is the story.
And that's
It
why
doesn't
Robin
matter-
Hood came around.
It doesn't matter if you have money or not. If you have insurance, you are fighting tooth and nail to use it. And then once you finally get the approval, you get to pay more. It's like an expensive coupon.
They've inserted themselves into the patient-doctor trusted relationship in a way. Like, and for some reason, there's still people out there that think insurance is there to help them. They're like, doctors are out there just prescribing willy-nilly proceed. I'm like, so you've clearly never tried to get something authorized.
Well, look at Andrew Whitty, the president or whatever the hell he is
The
of United
president
Health
of WIT.
Cartel. I mean, he is still saying that United Healthcare has a very significant role in making sure that unnecessary care isn't delivered. Are you kidding me? You don't care if the patients need something. You all deem it unnecessary because you need to take a piece of it. Redonkulous. I am so hopeful that our experience, strength, and hope that we have shared this whole year and what we've been through with my back surgery, with our claims
It
clinic.
was claim, and then we had the claimable clinic come in, and
So-
that's when
so-
Morris.
We met Boris Bokhari, a physician, on Twitter, and he, only because I terminated our Cigna contract in August of 2023, I started railing on Cigna, and we met Boris the first time we met Boris face to face was on March 4th, which actually was my birthday this year. Okay,
So
we've
we
only
go
known
from
Boris.
January to March. We're doing that,
Right.
and then what was after that?
So Boris came out here. Boris has been up to St. Louis 4 times. But he brought Alicia out on March 4th, which was my birthday, and Dr. Bach was also in the hospital on March 3rd because I picked him up from, he had one of those spells,
Yeah.
right, that he had, and he had an MRI and it was fine.
So Dr. Bach was having these like really faint, dizzy spells, and we'd give him fluids, and usually the
it would
fluids
resolve.
would get him right back on his feet. So it just kind of became part of our routine, I would say.
To give him fluids. Anyway, it was a crazy day. March 4th was my birthday. March 4th, I was in the emergency room with Dr. Bach, and I was supposed to pick Boris up at 8:30 in the morning, and I text him, who I've never met him before, and said, I'm going to be there at 10:30, because at midnight I was still in the emergency room. And I picked him, Dr. Bach and I picked him up at 10:30. We brought him here. I didn't even know how long they were staying.
We didn't. You're right. We had no idea.
Yeah,
It
they
was
were here
like-
for 2 days, and we did 2 patient appeals, and it was so amazing because they were fangirling over what we've done, and we were fangirling over the possibilities that these
Well,
people
and
are
at
going to
that
help
point,
patients.
we had maybe 10,000 followers.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
And then we just, once we got our first 1,000, you couldn't tell me and Julie and I that we weren't famous. We saw 1,000 views and we're like, all right, where's our star on the Walk of Fame?
right. Listen, I mean, it's all about getting the right patient on the right medicine, and it's never going to be one size fits all, or even one size fits most. So then we had Boris introduce us to Wendell Potter.
And then
which-
we did that week of claimable.
And we did
So that was-
38 appeals.
That was
June 24th. I know these dates.
That's amazing because I didn't.
June 24th through 28th. We had Wendell Potter. We had Ash Gilbertson.
Oh my god, the most
Love.
stressful week of my life.
The weeks leading up to that, well, they were all stressful.
Oh my gosh,
Claudia had
Claudia-
to do all of the patient coordination, which was
and print
huge.
all the paperwork, and it was because the AI hadn't learned anything yet.
We had 7 people from Claimable out here, and the lads, which are the IT architects, were out here in exam rooms changing code and saying, oh my god, this is our hypothesis, but this is how it plays out on the
And then
ground.
I'm getting all these signed patient
Consent
forms for Ash, and he's like, I'm like sending pictures as he's like taking these pictures, and I'd say that gave us a good bounce for like a couple months.
Oh, for sure. And you know, it was very fulfilling and energizing to be working like 12, 15-hour days, and then be like in this with patients and with these
Amazing
super energetic people, and we had some dinners out
Oh.
that were amazing. It was just like, wow, I feel like we went from here to here.
100%, because also people were just like, you guys know you're amazing, right? And we're like, we're just in
Just
Bridgeton.
doing our job.
We're just
And I had the opportunity to go on 3 patient interviews with Ash and Wendell. And I got to have a McDonald's fish sandwich with Wendell frickin' Potter. Like, does that
like
get
the
any better
Wendell
than
Potter
that?
that's all over the news right now. Signal
Right.
whistleblower, the guy that got us into advocacy. Like after our first freaking time seeing him speak, Julie's like, we ran up there, and after that is like when the fire under you lit, and we're like, we're getting involved. We're gonna change things.
Yeah, and I told her as soon as he comes off the stage, follow me, because he's had a suitcase. He was in LA.
He was ready to go. He was definitely
Mama
ready
knew.
to go.
Mama knew.
It was insane.
And we did a lot of travel this year. We went to the Surgery Center of Oklahoma City.
We met Marty McCary.
Yes, who's now in the Trump administration. Don't
If I
forget us.
please invite me to the Oval Office.
Please.
Please.
Stop saying please.
Please.
And then we did a bunch, okay, so we had all that stuff going on. We had June 24th through 28th, we did the claims week. We filed 38 appeals. And then we had a very busy July, sort of just getting all of that stuff going.
Oh, yeah.
And getting patients on service.
And like checking up on it.
Following up the follow-up with a follow-up. And we had a very busy fall travel schedule. And then suddenly Dr. Bach got sick and he freaking died. My
a couple
partner,
days before your daughter's wedding.
3 days before my daughter's wedding, our daughter's wedding. Yeah, he freaking died. My husband and my partner of 34 years we were married. We've been together 36 years. He freaking died.
And you went and got your hair dyed.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think that just goes to show, like, how you were just like, what?
I was in a
daze. I'm just gonna go on with my normal, regular routine.
I had to do that for my daughter.
Well,
I had to do that.
In a way, I think it's kind of the most beautiful gift Dr. Rod could have given you guys, because he
knows I wouldn't have gone.
Well, and he knew, because he said goodbye to me, and I was like, what do you mean? I'll see you tomorrow, buddy. And then I didn't see him the next day, but it was like, when we were sitting there, I saw like one tear fall, and it was just almost like he was like, wow, I don't know how much longer this is going to be going.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made sure to give him an extra hug, and and then things just took a turn, and it was like, what's going on? I'm going to Julie's every day almost, and we're going on TikTok, like, we're doing great, everything's fine.
And he was getting better and better and better, and then all of a sudden he wasn't, and I don't know. It
But
was
you
a
would
really
have stayed.
difficult time.
I
of
think.
course, I would have never left him.
Gone
ever.
to, and
I wouldn't have gone to
think
Sarah's wedding.
that's something Dr. Bach, I don't think he would have wanted to, that's guilt. I think that would have broken his own heart knowing he missed his daughter's wedding. And instead you guys had to have you had the ability to have this beautiful small ceremony.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be a memory. And then just even seeing the pictures, which I'll post a few on here, they're absolutely gorgeous. And it's just like, it couldn't have been more perfect. Like, the photographer focused on every small detail that there was. The shoes, there's 100 pictures of them. So if there was a flaw, I'd see it. Everything was perfect.
It was, for me, he was everything, but what struck me is not one time did he ever say, poor me, blah, blah, blah.
That's what
he put on a freaking tuxedo and had a mini wedding in our house and stood up for his daughter.
And
he was a better person than most people.
Anyone. And he called patients like up until 3 days before he passed.
I mean, really, he was still doing patient stuff until the day he died.
And
he really was. He was a physician up until the day he died.
And the most patient. I mean, when I first started, I was fighting for every single patient. I was like, no, these people have to stay. It didn't matter what. And so my empathy was huge, but there would still be some patients that I'd be like, all right, I can't even help. And then Dr. Bach would come out and be like, I know this one, we're gonna give them another chance.
Yeah, no, he was the best guy ever. And I know people kind of say that when people die, but it's different with Steve Bach.
No,
he was exceptional.
I think there's been many times when both you and I have been like, it should have been me. Like, I'm not making the difference he did. Julie, and it's so hard too because he made such an impact that people want her to spend an hour on the phone with them talking about how great he is.
I know, and they're like, how come you didn't call me? I'm like, are you kidding me? But super amazing man whose life was cut short at the age of 63.
But I don't think I can't think of anyone I've ever met personally that has been able to make as much of an impact as him. He genuinely sold hope. Patients, I've never been to an appointment where I've cried afterwards because I felt hurt. And you just look at our TikTok, I mean, patients can't even get their doctor to prescribe a medication because they're like, your insurance is gonna
even
deny
on
it.
Dr. Bach's obituary, like, it's just over 100 comments about how he saved their lives.
And lots of patients wanted personal handwritten letters. And, like, there's been times where I've had to be like, listen, we care, but I have to protect Julie. She just lost her husband, you know? Like, let's have some grace. And then but that's kind of where I also saw how messed up and unreliable our healthcare system is. Like, as a specialty, we're supposed to be able to rely on the primary care physicians to work with us. Our physician passes away. Not a single one of them, well, I guess maybe one group, some of them, I shouldn't say that, but were willing to help us with the medications. They'd rather their patient go to the hospital with withdrawal. Whenever we're working on getting a locums doctor in here, we're just, give us a second.
Dr. Bach was the best because he took care of poor people, and he didn't want his patients to get stuck in the pain management surgical bounce back with their inflammatory rheumatology conditions, so he always prescribed controlled substances. Most of the time it was Tramadol, but there were some Schedule II drugs, and nobody would help us.
And he always
Nobody would
drilled
help
in our
us.
head, we don't recommend surgery. We do not recommend surgery unless it's like a very last option.
And it's because the surgical solution is not a solution when it's an inflammatory patient. You still have the inflammation and the rheumatology disease. Psoriatic arthritis, don't even bother. We don't care what your MRIs look like. We get that they're a mess, but we're gonna still help you live with your disease. And that really was his mantra. No surgeries for inflammatory patients. So he wasn't a big fan of the hospitals and the surgery centers, which is like, they probably weren't a big fan of us, but that's okay. We always did the next right thing, and we still do. So then we have this horrid event.
You go to your daughter's wedding.
My husband dies. 3 days later, I go to my daughter's wedding. 2 days after that, one day after that, I flew back to St. Louis. The following day, we have his funeral, which was, I was like in a daze, and it was an amazing funeral.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
The whole staff came, and I don't know, we had so many people there, and I wanted to do
even
it.
Some people that
we didn't invite. I don't even know how they found out about it.
How you doing, Exogen?
Right? But it was a really moving tribute to him. We had all of his favorite foods, which was, one of them was rack of lamb. And just the most amazing foods, multiple open bars, and great slideshows, and it was fantastic.
Oh, absolutely 100% was. I mean, Julie couldn't get away from the front door because people were holding on to her. She wore the wrong heels, I think, that day.
I did. I wore the same dress that I wore to my daughter's wedding.
She was the shoulder for people to cry on, but we made it past that. And then we went to Vegas, right?
Well, the next day I came to work.
Oh,
I took off
I couldn't get her to take a day off work.
I felt
she
like
took half days.
I did half days, but I felt like I needed to be here because we needed a place for his patients.
Well, and our office was going wild.
And I needed to be here for the staff. I needed them to see me here.
Yeah.
Still working.
No, I think it showed strength and to not fuck with you, honestly, because I think people were scared of Dr. Bach, but they didn't realize you're the one to be scared of.
I think they knew that I was the one to be scared of.
I don't know. After that little debacle back there, I was like...
Well, it was a really crazy time. However, all I know how to do is pick up a paddle and row for the shore. I can only cry in the fetal position in my kitchen for so long. I have to be moving forward.
And
boy, did we
by
move
golly,
forward.
did she.
So here's the crazy thing. So we have his funeral. We come back to work. I have 4 trips planned. With him and with this one. We have to freaking cancel all of his tickets and repurchase mine.
We didn't realize we had to repurchase hers until like a day before when we realized she didn't have a ticket.
Because I was on his companion pass. No. we went to Las Vegas
And you received an award
for the Advocate of the Year for private practice for 2024, which was amazing.
And she spoke with Nilsa about social media, spilling the tea on social media being the new prior authorization.
We did that at the Healthcare Advocacy Conference in
Vegas.
Am
I mixing them up?
No.
Oh,
but that was the right title, was social media is the new prior authorization. So we did that. We were in Vegas for a week, but we had a really great time.
And we sat at Lisa Vanderpump's Vegas place, which was a highlight of my career. I love her.
Really? Okay. Actually, it was such a beautiful place.
The food, at least Lisa would have been there, but
it's not really a food place. It's a vibe place.
Yeah.
But we also went to Hell's Kitchen, and Wars came out there with us, and Nilsa was by our side the whole time.
Her and Wars got in trouble for bullying.
Always. Actually, I was talking about that on Dr. Glockenflecken's podcast with Wars.
CBS was hosting it, so
I
had
them. So you got the arsonist, CBS, creating the fire, and then the firefighter, CBS.
Engraving cups. So then I stood in line and I was like, I would like you to write Angry Dad on there, because his son he was just getting traction for his son, and I was like, okay, let's put Angry Dad on there, and he's like, I don't know if it'll fit. I'm like, it will. Thanks.
So we did that. We were in Vegas for a week, and then we came back here, and in between, even at Vegas, I was hanging out with and talking with my friend Brad on the phone, and we were like spending some time together, like just kind of hanging out when I was in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And his wife passed away, and he's someone that I've known for more than 20 years. And it's like at the same time that I'm mourning the loss of my husband, I'm like starting to like have like this friendship turned romantic situation with him. Which was like, what? I know. It was like pretty wild. I can remember being in Vegas. I got myself locked out of the room in just my underpants and then she wouldn't let me in.
I'm scared of stranger danger, which I think we should all appreciate. And I heard the bathroom door close. And she's banging on the door, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what? Like, this is terrifying. Someone's banging on our door. I'm going to get kidnapped. And she's like, Claudia, it's me. And I'm like, no, you're in the bathroom.
I don't like a mess, and there was some room service dishes, and I went to put them out in the hall, and I thought that I could flip that thing, and I locked myself out in the hall at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, and she wouldn't let me in. I'm standing out there in my underpants, no bra.
It was good.
It was a tough one.
It was interesting.
So that was that, and then we came back.
You bought yourself a Chanel scarf. We went shopping.
I did.
We can't forget that.
And I bought a really pretty sweater, that blue sweater.
And this jacket, this lesbian
jacket. When in doubt, we did some retail therapy for me. And then we came back, and then where did we go next? We went to... you went to Norm, and Nilsa and I went to Minneapolis.
And Norm was really the first time I realized not everyone's wanting to work with us.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So Norm is the National Organization of Rheumatology Management. So that was an organization that we're still both a part of. They don't want me. They don't like me though, but that's okay. I'm not everyone's cup of
guilty
tea.
by association.
Of course you are.
But I still sat front row no matter what. I got a book.
And
and I answered all the questions like the annoying smart girl in class. And we're doing things untraditionally, which I think makes a lot of people uncomfortable because we're not following the norm.
Well, but here's the thing. Why would we do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result? Letters of medical necessity, those don't work. Insurance companies and pharmacy benefit managers, they don't give a rat's behind about what a physician's office thinks.
I just want to know is, do they not realize that I honestly think we have a big part of educating the public because Moshiri, find the bottom 20%. We've found the bottom whatever
50%.
I can tell by the comments sometimes,
right
and so I think we've actually done and people are always like you're the only channel I've seen talking about this.
Well, I only know how to do things one patient at a time, and when you take care of chronic patients in the zip code that we take care of them,
and when you've taken care of a loved sick one with a chronic illness, I think that is also kind of what drives us to be so passionate is we both have seen the system.
Yeah, and it doesn't work. It's so freaking broken. So broken. And these insurance companies, they don't give a rat's behind about the patients they allegedly serve and they certainly don't care about the doctors and pharmacists doing the work.
Well,
Because-
even in Wendell's what's it called?
Op-ed?
He said that not once did they talk about patients as patients. Like, they were never referred to a patient at an investors meeting.
Right. All they talk about is profits and shareholders. They don't talk about members or patients. That's like, it's just inconvenient. But yeah, so you went to Norm. You got a frosty reception there.
Oh my gosh, but I got the best freaking frozen yogurt.
Okay.
Julie looked at the credit card statement. She
I
goes,
was like, what is all this?
you really did enjoy yourself, the frozen yogurt, because I got it like 3 times one day, and I was like, it was right outside my room. It was so good.
At least I'm looking at the credit card statement.
And then
Okay, so then I went to Minneapolis, Minnetonka, the home of United Health Cartel and Optum Rx headquarters, and I was with the PUT group, which is Pharmacists United for Trust and Transparency, with Lord Jeremy.
we love Lord Jeremy.
And they asked me to come and speak on behalf and dedicate the protest to Dr. Stephen Bach, who was a goat. The
And I'm
greatest of all
sitting there,
times.
nervous wreck, because she's away from me, and I was kind of like the right-hand person. Like, if she has a meltdown, I've got the pen.
Right, but Nilsa met me there, and Nilsa and I had a great time, and I brought 2 of Dr. Bach's lab coats.
And they signed it.
And we signed them all. It was such an emotional thing, and I spoke at that, and that was great.
I think
was
that's kind of
great.
what, because we're like family now with them. Like, I
Oh,
love
with
them.
Pud? You're the best.
Brandy, Monique, everyone. They're just absolutely amazing. And then I guess we started doing some like original stuff. What grinds your gears, Julie? What grinds your gears?
But you were doing what grinds your gears last year, weren't you?
Yeah, and now they've just recently started like
Restarting that.
and you've had insurance companies reach out to you and be like, stop.
I've had Aetna send me an email saying, get off TikTok. We've had Cigna send us a cease and desist letter. What? How can this little itty bitty tiny practice in Bridgeton, Missouri, who takes care of poor people and people that are barely making it, get underneath the skin of multi-billion-dollar international company Cigna?
That was the
We
first
must
time
be doing something right now.
I was stoked about something, and she was actually really nervous, and she's like, maybe we'll tone it down a little bit. And I'm like, Julie, we're getting in these people's freaking heads. Like, they just spent money to send a cease and desist to a private practice in Bridgeton, Missouri.
We are so insignificant in the big ball of healthcare. Like, so insignificant. And Cigna is a huge player, and whatever we're doing is underneath their skin. And then, after that, I copied their lawyer, Dan Ryan, on 200 emails.
You had the 4 folders you have were just lodged with like
Mhm.
evidence proving that everything we've said is
Was
true.
correct. Yeah. So all they did was give me material for a slideshow. So thank you, Cigna, because but for you, I would have never met Boris Bakari and Claimable, and I've never been able to help as many patients. Never met Wendell Potter. Never met Dr. Glockenflug.
Mark Cuban would have never followed us.
Mark Cuban actually. Oh, then we had that on. That
And he
was on
emailed-
August 6th. No, August 5th. Before Dr. got sick, Dr.
Yeah.
got sick. Warris and I were on the phone, and he and I were in an email with Mark Cuban, and Mark Cuban tweeted that out about Express Scripts, and that was like, that's pinned on my Twitter account. Like, what?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
literally, me and him and I's email, I was like,
I mean, listen, little insignificant people, us, can do big things. And we do big things because we do the next right thing, and we just, all I'm looking for is a pathway to take care of my patients. And if the insurance companies would show me that, I would get off their Dick Van Dyke.
just
But
don't give
now,
us anything to talk about.
it's too late because they've upped the game even more.
Well, that's like all of this, like, I urge you to tone out the critical noise. Like,
Sir Andrew Whitty saying in his internal email to his staff at Optum and United Health Cartel, tone out the noise because it's not reality. Guess what, Whitty? It not only is reality, but now everybody sees you. And now we're all talking about it, and shit's gonna change. Shit's gonna change. It's happening.
It is.
It is absolutely happening. Okay, so then,
and then
after
we went to Tennessee.
then we went to Nashville, Tennessee, to the CSRO, that's Coalition of State Rheumatology Organization.
and got in
meeting.
trouble again.
Got in trouble again. I did a terrible job of packing, and I had to wear her $12 dress But somehow, I looked great in it.
She's like, I can't wear this. And I looked at her and I go, well, I can't wear it after you put that on. I don't have a boob job. Like,
well, we don't have to tell people all that.
It just fit her. It fit her body perfectly.
It really did.
And I was like, I can't wear that after you. And then the next day I was like, wait, I can't wear the same dress as her. It's going to be who wore it better. And Julie's like, take the credit card. And I was like, all right.
And you got a rockin' cute outfit. That Nashville trip was such a good time.
It was
and
so
Morris met us down there, and Nilsa was there.
The puppy.
And we got to meet, the puppy. We got to go into honky tonks. I loved that. We went into some cool bathrooms. And we also got to meet Pramod John from Vivio.
Whom, if you tuned in yesterday, we had an email with. He promised that this would be different, and was it?
It actually wasn't different.
So we are
but
never
then
getting
we
back
actually,
together?
we're never getting back together. But you know what? He backed down because I don't back down.
Nope, she doesn't back down.
And we got the patient stable on Enbrel to continue that because Vivio Wizardry wanted to change her, do a non-medical switch to Inflectra. This is a poor patient that works at frickin' 7-Eleven. She's 67 years old, is a cashier at 7-Eleven. And these morons at Vivio are like, oh, well, one size fits all, just switch her to Inflectra. Well, nobody infuses Inflectra, and the patient doesn't have 2.5 hours every God knows how many weeks to come sit in the office.
Well, I think it's absolutely disgusting, like, what healthcare's, like, health insurance is going to do, like, with all these non-medical switches. How they're not acknowledging the fact that they're not the same. And we could have someone stable on it, you change it. Do you know how hard it is to find another medication that works for them?
It can take years to
And
get somebody stable on a medicine.
To find a doctor patient enough
to work every single one. But this is like so unsustainable, and that's what we're seeing coming, just everybody exploding on healthcare.
Everyone's sharing their stories on.
Oh,
I think we've actually opened the door to people feeling empowered to share their story on social media.
I mean, listen, what are you going to do? Going to cancel me? Go ahead. Everybody's a patient, and everybody has been denied
And everybody
by their
already
insurance
doesn't
company.
Like me.
And I'm not really looking to make friends. I'm looking for a pathway to care for my patients. That is what I will go down saying.
And working here, I've noticed more than anything the system taking advantage of disabled or elderly.
And poor.
And right, like,
you don't have any resources, you screwed.
it's disgusting because, like, even like the manufacturers of these drugs have patient assistance. Like, yeah, they're making so much money, but they have patient assistance for people that can't afford it.
But they're not making as much money as as the insurance companies and the pharmacy benefit managers.
And they continue to create additional branches, these insurance companies, and like find ways to increase their revenue. And it's like, but the outcomes of our healthcare in America are the worst.
The worst, and it's the most expensive. And the whole sole job of a pharmacy benefit manager, and I'm looking at Optum Rx, Express Scripts, and CVS Caremark, was to reduce costs of prescription drugs. And they've done nothing but skyrocket. And their profits are all just middleman fees for doing none of the work. This has got to change.
Well,
we do
seen
not need
patients go blind. We've seen patients
yeah.
not be able to walk. We've seen
We've had a patient a pharmacist that works at CVS that was denied infusion drug for her, and she had uveitis. She went blind in one eye, and CVS is like,
sucks. You
sucks
need to try this other drug.
Yeah, why don't you try try just taking a bunch of prednisone and see if you can lose vision in your second eye.
These huge, like, buff, big men that you would never think would, like, be so emotional are, like, coming up to us like, I would have never, thank you. Thank you for asking if I needed help, because otherwise I would have been stuck in this.
Yeah, so I think that one of the things that we do really, really well here is we look at patients as individuals. We don't just say that and say blah, blah, blah. We actually do it. And by doing that, patients get individualized care, and then if the therapy plan is denied or delayed by the insurance companies, that comes here, and trust and believe.
We're your worst
If a doctor
nightmare.
tells me that I work for, if they tell me this is the medicine that patient needs to be on, I don't have any questions. I will get it done.
We have no problem being sassy to the people in the middle, because you know what you're signing up for. I worked at the car warranty industry. I've read a script. I've done the whole deal. You know. That's why they have the script. Otherwise, they wouldn't need a script.
We've uncovered so many bad players. We had the one with Mark Cuban who tweeted out about Express Scripts, where the Express Scripts specialist at Presidential Escalations had called up and said that she was with the doctor's office. Y. Remember that?
The one that filled out the assistance
Yes.
paperwork?
Yeah.
And then Optum turned the sprinklers on her, thinking she was the Wicked Witch of the West or something, but she didn't melt.
Don't you worry. This hair, I can blow
She
this
hates
out
when
again.
it gets wet,
I do
actually,
hate when my
but
hair gets wet, but
so
that's
they
okay.
did their research.
Yeah,
maybe.
so when we went to the Optum RX protest, they had the thugs of Optum, all these big bodybuilder guys going, "You gotta get off our property," and then they turned the sprinkler. I'm like, whatever.
And those are
mermaid
the
hair, don't
people
care.
saying we're harassing and bullying them.
But we also met some amazing people in 2024. Lord Jeremy, Brandy, Monique,
Todd Urey.
Todd Urey, Angry Dad, Bill Schleikensticker, whatever
Angry
his
Dad
name is.
WI.
Right.
Bob.
Angry
Or
Dad.
Bill. I'm so sorry.
And it's Bill with one L too. That really throws me off. But at Angry Dad WI, which is Wisconsin.
Well, and Patience,
And
even
Matt
people-
Ort, and like all of those
and
people
Frank, and Patrick, and
right.
Loretta, I feel like.
Oh, Loretta was amazing.
Uh,
is amazing. And we've just met some really great people. But again, what do we have in common?
Nilza, we already knew Nilza, but I don't want her to listen to this and think we didn't shout her
Nilsa's
out.
the bomb. The bomb. Nilsa's the first one that got me on social media on Twitter. Here's the thing. Every one of us is a patient. Every one of us has been delayed or denied by our insurance company.
Wendell! Sorry, we didn't mention him.
Warris, Wendell,
Dr.
Ash,
Weisbart. Ash! Oh, I love Ash. And you got to meet his girlfriend.
Dr. Feldman.
Oh, Dr. Feldman. I'm so sorry that I started off on the wrong foot, but I guarantee the other one will probably fall right
All
with
right,
it.
in behind. We've really had an amazing ride this year.
It's been a hard one. It's been absolutely... Sometimes it's been like back against the wall, like how much longer can we take it?
You know what? I have come to realize I do my best work with my back up against the wall. You want to see this old girl throw down? Put her back up against the wall. I will come out.
We'll scratch.
Swinging
We will scratch
and
our way
fighting.
up.
And I've had an opportunity to go to New York. Unfortunately, Claudia didn't go, and that was
Her
my
partner
fault
did.
because I have a new partner, and he's also my
And he made the companion pass
Right.
because she wasn't ready for the commitment to have me.
Right.
For a whole year.
But you also had your
No, Texas was so fun. I did skip out on a couple of the like random billing things that I was like, Julie's never gonna have me do this, I don't think.
No, and
so
you need froyo or yogurt.
I need to
or
go
whatever
eat
it
as
was.
much froyo as I
But
possibly
we
can.
really have overall. I mean, despite the fact that I lost my Steve Bach, who was the greatest of all time, we've come out okay. We're still standing. My shoulders are back. My chest is out, and I am walking through this with grace because we still have patients to help.
And healthcare is not getting better.
Healthcare, but I think for right now we are teetering on the brink of
Change.
extinction and change, and get these PBMs the hell out of healthcare. What I would love to see for 2025, if I could make a wish, would be to dismantle United Healthcare, Optum, Express Scripts, Caremark, Aetna, and Cigna.
Save
and
on
Anthem.
SP, save
All
on
of them.
Rex.
Get rid of them.
Keep doing your research. You won't find anything. It's all public record.
That would be my wish, is that we go to direct care and we remove the middlemen, we remove the roadblocks of prior authorizations, we remove the pay-to-play list and the formulary and step therapy and all the things that make healthcare shitty for the people and make profits for the shitty people at the insurance company. That is my hope for 2025.
I was talking on TikTok the other day and I go, I have a feeling 1 year from now, I'm not even going to remember where I am. Like, things are going to go so, like, our trajectory is just going to increase so fast. And I don't even think we'll remember sitting here, like, being like, this is our year in review.
Well, we will, because we will watch this back. But my message is one of experience, strength, and hope, that we do hard things. We do hard things personally, we do hard things professionally, but at the end of the day, we lift patients up and we get them to live with their diseases. And the insurance companies want to tear patients down because we've all experienced that.
Well, and we're the ones, we'll sit there and genuinely cry with patients. Like, there were some patients, Sally, freaking, like, I'm just like, they hugged me and I'm like, that's when I'd lose it. Because they'd just be like, I am so sorry. And it was like, no, I am so sorry. Because, like, these ladies were in love. They were in love.
With Dr. Bob.
And they told Julie, like, he's my man. He is.
It's all good.
And
We had
Julie-
nuns that were like, we're going to run off together. I'm like, okay.
Gosh. But it was just, I guess we got his can-do spirit.
We do have his can-do spirit. We have his can-do spirit.
And Julie is the one that suggested I make a dance today, so we have his dance moves also.
And we're going to do that, and we're going to teach it to however many staff want to participate.
It's just going to be us.
Okay, well, I'm here for it. So,
but anyone that wants to be in it, we would love to.
I just feel hopeful, and I feel more hopeful because of the events in New York with Luigi. Because for the first time ever, the United States of America, the people, we the people, are saying, that's it. We've had it with the insurance companies. We've had it with their multi-billion-dollar decisions, profits, salaries, all on the backs of the patients and the taxpayers of the United States of America. So I am hopeful for what change is coming in 2025, and it better be, and it should be, the next right thing, which is to get rid of the health insurance companies and the pharmacy benefit managers. Fiddlesticks.
My goal
Fiddlesticks.
is to be more so, is to make sure these copay accumulators, like, if anything, we just need them. Once I get them rid of, we're done. Then the pharmacy benefit managers will be next. We need to keep them from making these branches, these stupid
Well,
little
the
branches.
revenue streams have revenue streams at insurance companies, and that's like it's so incestuous. I mean, United Healthcare is the largest employer of physicians in the United States of America. 90,000 physicians have sold their soul to work there. What? Who would want to do that?
Someone that can't afford their student loans.
Okay, well,
they're
you know what?
They get out with their
I
back
just
against the
feel
wall.
like I have, at the age of 60, I have fewer days in front of me than I have behind me, and by God, I'm going to make every one of those days count. And if I can help people, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the right thing.
I always do the right thing. Otherwise I tell on myself, so it's best if I just do the right thing. It's my character. Character shines through at the end of the day, and I think it's really done that with insurance this past year too. My hope is that more people feel empowered to use their voices and stand up against insurance companies and call Congress. Like, what? That's a big thing we did.
The 50 sponsors, we helped with that. First time caller, long time listener,
Oh my
you're
gosh.
on the air.
4 co-sponsors. Like,
In one day. Working with Jeremy and the team at PUT to get the House HR 9096 on the floor. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. Because if it's anything short of rubber stamped approved, and the pharmacy benefit managers are going, mother of pearl, we are so screwed.
but they're suing.
But you are.
They're suing the people that are giving them bad reviews. So it's like, and then they're trying to dismantle the FTC. I meant to ask you about that. How do you do that?
I don't know. But you know what? The big, the powerful, the elite few, we done with you.
Yeah, we're never getting back together.
We're never getting back together with Optum, Express Scripts, or Caremark.
Or
You
United
suck,
Healthcare,
and we
Cigna,
want nothing
Essence,
to do
Medicare
with you.
Advantage in general. Hopefully we'll be moving towards our direct pay model.
Yes. You know what? Healthcare needs to be affordable and accessible.
And transparent. Like, transparent. It should just be, I prescribe this medication, you're going to go, and it's going to be this amount.
That's the prior authorization is the prescription, not the bullshit with the labs and with the chart notes and going to India and we can't find this and that and blah, 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 blah. So,
We're not backing down anytime
Merry
soon.
Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa.
I was going to say.
Happy anything
New Year.
except no happy to United Healthcare.
And Medicare Advantage plans.
Oh, Medicare Advantage is the worst. It is the worst. But
Andrew Whitty, Gail, freaking
Bordeaux.
Cordani, you guys,
David
I hope you
Cordani.
get coal.
I mean,
I hope the pictures continue to get posted.
Yes.
And if you guys ever feel like you want to be on our podcast, the door is open.
Right.
Always.
It is open until we slam it in your face. But we'll do that after
Or
we talk
turn the
to you.
sprinklers on.
Fiddlesticks.
And that is the end. How do I?
Don't ask me how you do something. Okay. What do we got going up
I
there?
did it. And then here's this. Happy holidays. Stand up for all of us. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. We are. All right.
Nice. Let's
Okay.
see.
It's noon.
I love your spirit. Sending hope and love from a rheumatology office in North Carolina. We feel your
Yay.
pain. Quotable. 90,000 doctors have sold their souls to work there.
Yeah,
Honorable
we
mention. 2024 was the hardest year in healthcare I have experienced in 20 years.
have. Yeah, it was.
Love this. Let's keep going. These two are champs for patient, American citizens, and equality. Oh yeah, it is reality. Have you guys ever thought of direct primary care? Yes. Private practice here as well. I say the same things. I love what grinds your gears. Business expense with Lord Jeremy. I'm crying reading what people said about Dr. Bach. Truly beautiful words people shared.
Yeah, for real. Dr. Bach's obit his comments are outstanding. He was like the best. You can look at it at Dr. Stephen with a V, Steven, Bach, B as in boy, A apple, K, kite. Stephen Bach, obit at St. Louis Crematorium. He was the best.
Look up his name and it's one of the first. I'm so sorry, Julie, I can't imagine. I met him once in my consultation and he was very nice and a great listener.
He's the best. He was the best. But we are carrying on.
Oh, Julie, I just want to give you a hug. She's gotten lots.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a very take care, stay healthy, and all the best to everyone. I needed an MRI and it took 3 months to tell me I was denied. Like, what if I just went crazy? I find the coding of all these procedures interesting as well. Game. Please, I need help. Where can we read his papers? I can post those. Exactly what took so long with your MRI?
Oh, just Anthem didn't want to pay for it, but guess what? They didn't pay for it anyway because I had to pay for it with my deductible.
Did you meet your out-of-pocket?
No, I did not.
Are you kidding?
2 MRIs and a microdissection was not enough to meet my deductible.
Even with that, like, you didn't meet your out-of-pocket for the year? Even with Dr. Bach?
Oh, well, we're separate. He met his, but it's all individual.
So we have aggregated deductibles.
No, we all, I'm an employee, so I have my own thing. I'm not his spouse in the thing because I'm an employee.
Hello, Jay. Hello from Peru. Hello from UK, where they are trying to privatize the National Health Service. Thank you for all you do.
Amazing.
Can you please tell us how you guys started and your background? If you rewatch this, we will. All right. So we'll be back soon. Maybe. Is Jerome in there? Okay, good. Let's see. Can I download that? Julie actually started with construction, I think. Not at doing the construction, designing stuff.
Project management.
Jay's Gam, if you can't spell correctly, I can't understand what you're saying. I started off here after moving from France, and I was working at a CBD place. And Julie, will you be live later? Yes. I have my scrubs on because I work in a medical office. Hi, Dublin, Ireland. Julie was supposed to go there. Aw, love you too. That's so sweet of you, Jay's Gam. It means the world that you pay so much attention to my lives, to comment all the time. Nice to meet you, Gerard. Yes, Dr. Bach did pass. August 21st. And this will be up and ready to go, hopefully today. But if not today, it'll be probably tomorrow. Thank you. Let's see. Why don't you tell him how he passed? He passed from a reoccurrence of his cancer. It'll be uploaded on all platforms, so YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Sorry if you've been asked before, do you speak more than one language? Paquita. Oh, man. I hope you have a terrible holiday season, Jay's Gam. But karma comes for everyone eventually. is the sad thing. Even you, hiding behind a keyboard. There, friend. Keep him or kick him. You can look your boyfriend. Yeah, probably don't have enough friends to make you one. I don't know what color they are. I feel like this is what you do all day. I'm so busy. I've got to comment on Claudia's TikTok because she's got to be horrible. Hate, double hate. I haven't been hiding. I think that was good. I never hide. I'm not good at hiding. I'm too loud. Let's go. Let's look. Thank you, Fredo. Thank you, Jen. Let's see. Hopefully I can get, if I could get it uploaded really quick. I'm gonna have to rewatch it though, and our voices get very annoying. Oh, so how I started. I worked at Mercy, and then I moved to France with a boyfriend. My brother passed, so I came back. And then I had to move in with some friends because I broke up with said boyfriend and was working at a CBD place for cannabis, and I was the fastest joint packer there. And I made like their freaking training book, Top Shelf. Don't buy their stuff, hate them. But I was the fastest joint packer out of all the guys. Hey, that was a year ago. Or 2. Maybe 3. I might have lost track of time. But if nothing else, I hope we share hope and empowerment. You'll want to say grass to keep the lives send out from being limited. Oh, good call. Grass. What you doing, CT scanning? No, I'm fixing our podcast.
New lunchbox.
Okay. What is it?
Here's chicken parm. I love parm. What? I
I would say. I could definitely be a lot less happy. Okay. Well, I don't really do anything. Stupid, did I hear? I'm a patient advocate. I argue with insurance companies and have a podcast with Julie. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm a handful, that's for sure. Hi, Shayla. Okay, no beating around. No. Sometimes I can be a little airheaded, but it comes with the ADHD, I think. I love Ziggy. Can't we all? I'm 53 and I still have ADHD. My ADHD is not very well managed. I know that much for sure. OCD? I wish I had OCD. I don't think. That's one thing I've never diagnosed myself with. Is there anything that you guys would like us to focus more so on or answer questions about? I am too. Thank you, TinyGrass007. We also are part of Farmy, which is you can purchase the shirt from the pharmacypodcast.com, and it's $22, and all proceeds go to our veterans and organizations that help them. So Julie and I purchased our shirts today. Would you not try a stress ball to keep your mind busy? I end up popping them because I want to see what's on the inside of it. I'm such a child. Is it raining? Good evening, how are you? How do I hear that?
So he probably could have been helped by infusions. Well, and what I was talking about his mom screaming in pain. All I could think about was social media that she's done. I think everyone's almost. Dr. Bob was like,
Okay. Yeah, it's safe to keep sense.
real life. As always, I'm proud. This is the State of the Union of your face. It shares a little. You're the transparent. We'll do that. We're trying the sprinklers on. Fiddlesticks, and that is the end. Don't ask me how you do something.
Oh, okay.
What kinda? It worked out, but from that, we got some really good traction, in spending. Very in the office, cause like, on our TikTok, we're not even letting us speak, we're just like, it's real! I know, it's like, and now this is becoming like a household name, it's not. This is not sponsored by Starbucks, but we love it. What a huge year we had. This is the State of the Union of the Affairs. My chair's a little, you're the one who wanted that chair. Okay, don't worry, we're gonna restart it again. Okay. So here we are. Probably it'll be posted tomorrow, so that's in December. I got it. Okay. How much have you done in 1 year? So this year of 2024 has been amazing and heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I have a broken heart, a full heart, and a business. Right? Yeah, you just have a highlight of your career. That was Dr. Glockenflecken. Being interviewed by Dr. Glockenflecken is my personal business high, and it was only made possible because of the social media that she's done. I think everyone's almost, Dr. Glockenflecken is known by everyone. He is in healthcare. No, even not in healthcare, I think he has a lot of people. He's a very well-known person. Right. And I think if we would have talked to ourselves a year ago, when Boulder started this year, and has been amazing. I do believe that Wendell Carter is really an artist. I remember he's never been a business. If you would just pull that in, if I say what you're from, it was awful. Being interviewed by Dr. Glockenflecken is my.
Oh, I stopped paying attention. Hi. I am a patient advocate and argue with insurance companies, help people. Hi, Paul. Me working at work. Hi, Jeremy. Nothing good. Thank you. I'll be back after lunch.